Becoming a prime target for internet trolls, getting disowned by his own community, and being exposed for predatory behavior, for most people, this would have been enough to disappear from the internet and quietly rebuild their life. But not for NovaOnline. Even after everything, he's not only kept on going, he's doubled down, spiraling even further into pure degeneracy. And in the process, he's destroyed his own life, to the point where he might not even be safe in his own home.
Read the sign! No trespassing!
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today, we're diving into the unending downfall of TikTok's notorious lolcow, NovaOnline. We'll talk about how his extremely depraved actions, relentless hunger for internet attention, and shameless refusal to change have left his life in ruins. And worst of all, he's not going down alone, but dragging everyone close to him into the same dumpster fire. Now, I've already covered parts of his story in an older video, but if you haven't seen that one, here's how everything went down. After years of desperately trying to break into content creation, NovaOnline, real name Gabriel Scryer Gage, finally caught a break on June 25th, 2022, when a TikTok of him reviewing Wingstop went viral.
Trying Wingstop for the first time. Mildly spicy, but nothing that I can't bear. These are actually pretty decent, 8 out of 10.
The video pulled nearly 10 million views, but not for the reasons Nova was hoping. Nobody cared about his food review. What really caught everyone's attention was Nova himself, his looks to be more specific, which fit the internet stereotype of a Discord moderator a little too perfectly. And with over 20,000 comments left under the post, the overwhelming majority were trolls piling on about his appearance. And this wasn't a one-time thing, because only a few weeks later, on July 6th, 2022, another one of Nova's videos blew up with similar numbers.
Trying Ultra Sunrise Monster Energy, and if you're wondering why I'm not at home, I'm at my church for Bible Camp.
This sudden exposure pushed Nova into mainstream TikTok popularity, as his account skyrocketed past 200,000 followers. But this wasn't because people actually liked him or his content. His rise was carried almost entirely by trolls who showed up just to clown on him. That food looked embarrassed to be getting eaten by him. It looks like he hasn't taken a shower in years. At first, it was just cyberbullying, mean-spirited jokes, and people laughing at his expense. But moving into 2023, things took a much darker turn, once details from Nova's personal life started leaking. Outside of TikTok, Nova also ran a Discord server called Novine Universe. And it all started when content from that server started leaking and revealed a side of Nova's personality that was bizarre to say the least. In multiple images shared on the server, Nova could be seen dressed like a baby, sucking on a binky, and even wearing diapers. And if that wasn't strange enough, chat logs exposed the depraved fetish behind this behavior. I really want a messy diaper today. Is it weird I find myself more comfy in diapers? Nova had something called an ABDL kink, which stands for Adult Baby Diaper Lover. And yeah, as gross as that sounds, on its own, it's still technically harmless. But unfortunately for Nova, this was far from the worst thing the internet would find out about him. Because not long after, a new leaked video took things from not just questionable to outright disgusting.
Twinkle, twinkle, will die. How I wonder what you are.
You're so good.
On the surface, it looked like more of the same gross behavior, only turned up by 100. But the thing is that Nova believed he was on a call with a 14-year-old girl. He was 19 himself at the time, making this a straight-up crime. Nova's face was soon plastered all over YouTube, with a number of commentary channels exposing his creepy, predatory behavior to a wider audience, and rightfully so. Nova, of course, denied everything.
TikTokers just trying to be fun, but all you want to do is falsely accuse them of crap they never did. Y'all are being legitimate assholes. Have you ever seen an episode of Darman? You would know to not be an asshole to people you don't know nothing about. Don't judge people before you get to know them.
And when that didn't work, made one of the worst arguments in internet's history, going as far as to claim that it wasn't his fault that he was attracted to minors, and that it was the girl's fault for trying to flirt with him. Maybe he thought he was making a genuinely genius statement that no one could argue against. But to no one's surprise, this backfired horribly. It amplified that online hate so much, word of degen antics spread through his local community, resulting in Nova getting booted by his church. This pushed him to crash out on TikTok Live.
I'm at my breaking point! You're effing trolls who have nothing else better to do!
Which, of course, made him the target of trolls, whose only purpose was to provoke him further and get funny reactions from him. They raided his Discord server over and over again until it was shut down completely, and every time he tried to start a new one, it got nuked by raiders and taken down almost immediately. To rub salt in the wound, on April 17th, 2024, he also fell for a phishing link, losing access to his main TikTok account.
This is not a drill, this is not a f***ing drill, this is not a f***ing drill, my main account just got hacked!
Which was permanently taken down not long after. That could have been the perfect moment for him to step away from the internet and try to rebuild a respectable life. But Nova was hooked on internet attention, even if all it brought him was hate, and this very obsession would soon destroy whatever chance he had left at redemption. You see, once the controversy died down and the internet moved on, Nova's views started plummeting. With no real fanbase and nothing of value to keep people watching, his new TikTok account could barely scrape a fraction of the views he once had. But desperate to get back into the spotlight, Nova's content started spiraling in every direction imaginable. From god-awful karaoke videos, random tech tips.
My PS5 is running out of storage. Let's install an SSD. First you pop off this panel,
to the same tired food reviews that nobody was asking for.
kind of new, Papa John's Crispy Cuppy-Roni Papadilla.
He even tried live streaming himself playing video games.
I need to look and see what kind of CPU my Ryzen 5 is, because I am getting a Ryzen 9.
And, of course, dropping the occasional political hot take.
About the Jim Crow laws being reintroduced. I knew about the whole anti-trans bills and all that. But the fact that you can get arrested, sent up to 20 years in prison for using a frickin' VPN, you kidding me?
Because that's exactly what everyone was dying to hear from a Discord moderator. Nova was throwing everything at the wall, praying something would stick. And in that desperate chase for a second shot at fame, he even started posting workout videos. For a moment, it seemed like he'd found a lane. A handful of viewers even cheered him on for at least trying to work on himself. But as usual, most of the interactions came from trolls mocking him for his poor form and lack of effort. And to be fair, the criticism wasn't off. Even after months of working out, there was barely any visible change to Nova's physique. He never even tried doing any of it properly, and had zero respect for basic gym etiquette.
Try decreasing 100 pounds, dip.
Excuse me? Could you clean up your language, please?
So when the gym content didn't work, Nova tried to launch yet another series sometime in early 2025. This time, the grand idea was to film and upload himself cleaning his house. And honestly, judging by the state of his background in every single video he ever posted, a cleaning arc was long overdue. Above all, it was a step in the right direction. Something as simple as cleaning his space might have been the first domino to finally getting his life back together. Unfortunately, just like his half-hearted fitness journey, the motivation didn't last long. Only a few episodes in, the spark died out.
Also, I just wanted to give an update on the house cleaning saga, so house cleaning saga streams will no longer happen.
And that right there is the core of all of his problems. His complete unwillingness to even put in the bare minimum of effort is exactly why he continues to be a walking punchline for the internet. Without any meaningful purpose driving him, even his positive ventures, whether it's lifting weights in the gym or picking up trash, end up being nothing more than performative stunts for attention. Because at the end of the day, Nova doesn't care about improving himself. He only cares about staying staying in the spotlight, no matter how sad, embarrassing, or pathetic the show has to be to get there. But while his online circus kept rolling, the consequences in his real life were finally starting to catch up. Towards the end of 2024, he lost his job, and has been stuck in a cycle of joblessness ever since.
I'm f***ing begging for a job at this point. I've gone almost 6 months unemployed.
And with his local community already aware of his degenerate antics and predatory behavior online, it's not exactly shocking that no one wanted to hire him. Eventually, out of sheer desperation, Nova turned to his followers and asked them to help him land a job.
Hey 18 plus fans, I'm still struggling to find a job because, as I've said before, not even McDonald's wants me. So if you're a manager looking for a job, once again, hit me up, ea5080797@gmail.com.
But instead of real opportunities, all he got were fake job offers and trolls baiting him for laughs.
I just wanna thank TikTok for reminding me that I've been unemployed for 3 months. I've been applying to countless jobs, have fallen for 2 fucking fake job offers.
And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse for him, they did. Around the same time, Nova was also kicked out of the TikTok Creator Fund program.
So, as many of you know, I got removed from the Creator Fund a few days ago.
Although it's unclear why exactly TikTok pulled the plug, the one and only stream of income Nova had was now gone, leaving him completely unemployed. And while anyone in his position would have cut expenses to the bone, Nova did the complete opposite. He kept spending like nothing had changed, blowing money on takeout,
Bruschetta pizza? Let's give this a shot.
expensive tech gadgets,
I got a MetaQuest 3S to replace my MetaQuest 2.
and even Pokemon cards.
I have got a ton of Pokemon card packs. I bought a Super Elite Trainer box.
His irresponsibility caught up to him at home. Frustrated by a 21-year-old son's inability to get even a basic job, let alone take responsibility, Nova's mum started demanding that he'd pay rent if he wanted to keep living under her roof. The pressure pushed Nova into some pretty desperate territory, at one point he even admitting to considering starting an OF account. But luckily, on May 4th, 2025, after almost 6 months of being completely unemployed, Nova landed a job at a local Denny's.
Your boy got a new job. Fucking finally, the job search arc is over.
For a brief moment, it actually looked like he might turn a corner.
And I'm just gonna tell you how my first day went. Like, it went pretty smoothly, and I pretty much had no issues with any of my workers, except that some of them were quite annoyed at some of the tables, which is kind of fair. Like, I sometimes get how servers can be in the back of the house versus part of the house. So yeah, to answer your question, how my first work shift at the new workplace went, it went pretty smooth, no issues at all, and I actually had fun working.
But as always, the streak didn't last. Within just 2 weeks, Nova's time at Denny's was already over. And while you'd probably assume this was another case of his reputation catching up with him, the reality turned out to be very different. One of his co-workers later posted a video revealing the actual reason his job had ended.
He's just a weird kid, and he would play weird brain rot TikTok music in the kitchen over everyone else's music. He would consistently ask everyone, guess what? And then you would say what? And he'd say, D's nuts. Pretty annoying.
And just like that, Nova managed to throw away one of the opportunities he'd spent months begging for, simply because he's an incredibly foolish, self-destructive mess who refuses to even do the bare minimum to hold his life together. But reckless irresponsibility isn't the only force sinking Nova's life. His stubborn refusal to learn and his habit of repeating the same humiliating mistakes again and again and again has damaged his life just as much, if not more. On May 25th, he announced yet another brand new Discord server.
And the relaunch of the Discord server is coming soon.
Right away, it felt like a horribly careless decision, as every previous attempt to do so ended in complete disaster. But clearly, Nova simply can't stop himself from acting on the same twisted urges, because soon after the announcement, new images of him dressed up as a baby started circulating online once again. And really, what better place for him to put that kind of degenerate behavior on display than a public Discord server that anyone could join? Even though Nova did say the server would be 18 plus only,
And this time, it's 18 plus. So I know nothing bad's gonna happen to it.
He completely failed to ensure that rule. Within days of the server going live, miners had already slipped their way in. And just like before, the whole thing imploded. The server was raided, hacked, and every channel was named to Fat PDF Get Hacked. Not long after, the whole thing was nuked and shut down.
I'm never making another f***ing Discord server again. This is the mother***ing fourth my life, everything. I'm f***ing done.
By now, none of it was even surprising anymore, except this time, the fallout went far beyond the Discord server and spilled directly into Nova's real life. The very next day, Nova was swatted. The ex-account at NovaOnline Leaks posted screenshots of a conversation with him to confirm it, reading, "Someone said I was holding a nephew hostage. They put me in handcuffs and the cruiser and everything. They searched the whole house before they found out that it was a SWAT attempt." And turning it into a further nightmare for his family, only days later, trolls doxed his uncle's phone number, sending Nova into another meltdown while he was on call with his mum.
Mom, this is urgent. Fucking urgent. Andy just texted me again. His phone number got leaked, and now he's blaming. He's gonna give me due. I'm fucking scared.
And somehow, it still managed to get worse, when trolls went as far as trespassing onto his family's house.
No trespassing! You too, bitch!
Yeah, I'm fine. You can see me shaking. Shit.
By this point, things have completely spiraled out of control for Nova. The aftermath of his degeneracy online has escalated into something that is now endangering his real life and even the people around him. And while everything that happened from the swatting to the trespassing is completely out of line and impossible to justify, the truth is that Nova drove himself straight into this mess. His constant need for attention, his refusal to take accountability, and his obsession with repeating the same destructive patterns have paved every step of his downfall, and unless he finally steps away from the internet and tries to repair the damages, this descent won't stop until there's nothing left of his life to salvage. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and click the video on screen.